Okay, so the last thing in this slide, in this lecture, I want to cover is about some special case of the forward and futures. So it really depends on the on the underlying assets is what. So in simple, we only have one formula, right? In general, we only have one formula. Is F equal to S times 1 plus R power T. So it's show the relation between the future price and the spot price, and it is the theoretical value of the forward and future contract. However, depend on the commodity or depend on the underlying assets is what we may have some variations, some little change in the formula to reflect the idea of the the cash flow of the underlying. For example, if the underlying is commodity, we may have some cost to store the commodity. For example, oils, right? If you buy 1 gallon of oils or only 100 liter, 5 liter of oils, I think it's very simple, right? Just put in your house. However, if you buy a lot of oils, for example, 1,000 tons, 1,000 containers of oils, in that case the storage cost is a lot, right? So for commodity, if you hold the commodity, is very costly because it have the storage cost. However, in the good side, sometimes if you hold the assets earlier, you have some benefits. For example, um, if you hold some special product now, for example, if you have a lot of GPUs now before you delivery times, for example, you sign the contract to sell the GPU, the graphic card, today. However, the delivery is in the next year. So from now to the next year, of course, you can do something else, right? For example, you can use it to run the machine learning models, or you can even you mine the Bitcoin, something like that. So it has some benefits to hold the commodities, to hold the products in hand now rather than waiting to the next year. So in that case, we have some differences. Similarly, we also have some other products, for example, financial products. Sometimes they will pay you dividends or pay you some coupon. So holding the assets earlier may have some benefits. So the chapter 5 in the slide actually is I will cover you to use some of the idea. For example, what is the differences between consumption, investment, assets, and then I will give you some way to modify. For example, if we have the income from the assets, so we need to reformula the forward price by this formula slide. For example, uh, if during the time of the contract, if the mm, underlying assets pay you some income, for example, the stock paying you the dividends. So in that case, the forward price need to recalculate by this formula. So I here is the income from the stock, for example, how many dollars per share, something like that. So if the investment is a assets pay you some Q is what the yield. For example, dividend yields, how many percent per share. So in that way, you also need to recalculate. But we don't put here. We will put into the power. So it will be R minus Q. Where is Q is a dividend yield, something like that. And we also have the stock is the same, stock index is the same, right? We also have the dividends, and we also have here is the storage, right? For commodity, normally we have the storage, right? So you can think the storage is like negative income, right? So instead of you have some income, this is a negative, some cost. So we just reformula by put the U as a storage. cost. So if the user in percentage, so you can put into the power. So instead of r minus, we have r plus u. So for u is in the value in the dollar units, you can put into the s plus u here. But remember that here we have the not exactly. Sometimes it could be lower. And to sum it up, we can formula by on the dividend, on the incomes, on the storage cost, and the cost of carry is equal to the storage cost plus the interest and minus the income. So in that way, F will be equal to S times E. E is what? Is a natural power to the CT. C is a storage cost. So that is an overall picture of all of these variation in the formula of the forward and future. So it depends on the practice exercise. You can read it, and whenever you see there's an income or any cost of the underlying assets, you need to reformula, calculate the formula a little bit. So this is you need to remember for this part. Okay. So that's all for the lecture 1. So I think that you can learn something from this lecture, and I will give you some reading materials and some exercise, so you can do the practice at home. And I hope that you can do all the exercise during the class or at home. And whenever you find any problem, so just send an email to the TA and ask her for her help to use. And I hope that we can learn every day and learn from the lecture, so we can